Hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. In this video I'm going to show you how to get some ambient tones out of the Boss Katana Mark II. Now if you haven't downloaded the free preset pack that I've done, you can go and check on the other Studio Rats videos, and there's a video there that'll explain to you exactly how to download a whole preset pack for free. But what I'm going to do today is just to look at ambient tones, and I'm going to start from scratch on the Katana. Now as you can see, we've got more or less everything set to about 50% on the EQ. I'm going to use the clean sound on this with the variation 1, which should be the same sound as what you'd get if you've got a Katana Mark 1. The gain is on 50% and the volume is on 60. Now I'm going to leave everything there for the moment, as I'm going to be shaping the sound mainly using the effects, and we might go back a little bit later on and just tweak the EQ and tweak the gain. So first of all, what we're going to do is to start with the modulation setting. I'm not going to worry about the booster setting, as I don't want to add any extra gain to this, and I'm not even going to use the modulation setting for modulation. I'm going to use it for a compressor, and let's switch it onto the orange compressor and let's have a listen to that. Now for this type of sound, I really want the compression to squash the sound, and that's why I'm using the orange compressor on this one. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring back the sustain just a little bit, and just the tone. Now what the tone is doing is to add some basic EQ to it. So let's bring it all the way back. It's quite dull. Now if I wind it all the way forward to plus 50, it gets very bright. So let's just knock it back to about 30. Now what I want to try and do with this sound is to make the compressor about unity gain with what's going into it. So I want to make sure that the compressor is not adding any volume. So let's turn it off. So as you can see, the compressor is squashing the volume a bit. So let's boost it up. Now that's more or less matched. Now if you hear this compressor, now what this compressor is doing is to smooth out all of the notes that I'm playing, so we get a very even sort of sound out of it. The next thing I'm going to do is to go to my effects setting, and I'm going to use Tremolo for this. So let's find Tremolo. Let's switch that on. So one of the great things about the Boss Katana is you can make the tremolo sound like a Fender style tremolo, or if you wind up the wave shape to 100%, you can get more of that Vox style tremolo. Now what I'm going to do is to keep it more towards the Fender style, and let's just turn up the depth just a little bit, just so we can get a little bit more of the effect. If I turn it up fully, but it's not letting a lot of the clean signal through, so let's bring it back. So we've got the compression and we've got the tremolo sorted. Let's have a look at delays. Now with the Boss Katana, you've got two different delays. Now the first one I'm going to add in is an analog delay. And the reason why I like an analog delay is because as the delays repeat, they get duller. So already we're starting to get to that ambient sort of sound. Okay, let's bring in the second delay. Now what I'm going to do with this delay is to make it a pan delay. Now what that's going to do is to give us a stereo delay. So it's basically going to be bouncing between each speaker. Okay, let's bring back the effects level. Right, now lastly, on the effects side of things, let's have a look at some reverb. Now, let's switch that in, and what we're going to use is a modulation setting on this. Now, what that's doing, that's giving us a reverb which has got some chorusing effect to it. Let's turn up the effects level so you can really hear it. Okay, let's bring it back a bit. Now what we can do with reverb on the Katana is to use pre-delay. Now what pre-delay is the amount of time where the initial signal of the guitar is going to come through before the reverb takes effect. So, if I show this, if I turn off the delays here first of all, and let's go back to the reverb. Now if I turn up the pre-delay here, let's turn it up to 409 milliseconds. You can hear the initial attack of the guitar, and then 409 milliseconds later the reverb comes in. Now this is great if we want to have clarity on our guitar where we don't want the effects to be muddying up the signal. Now I don't want that much pre-delay in, so I'm going to bring it back to about just under 100 milliseconds. Okay, let's bring up the effects level just a little bit. And now let's bring back in the delays. Now, one of the other things we can do with the Katana is to EQ the output section. Now, I tend to find with the Katana, you just need to tweak the top and the bottom end. So let's go into our EQ here. Now, I think the bottom end's fine for this, but what I'm going to do is just to boost up the high gain. Just to give it that really glassy sound. If there's any other tones that you'd like to know how to achieve, just leave a little comment in the comment section. Now, it really helps us if you like and subscribe as well. So if you can possibly do that, I'd really appreciate it as well. So I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. I hope you guys got something out of that, and I'll see you next time.